how your doctor might be helping to get your insurance claim denied. I'm not going to say that this is their fault. I'm just going to say it's a habit they get into that they don't realize can change whether or not you get approved for physical therapy, whether or not you get to get your physical therapy paid for, and how many visits your physical therapy may or may not cover, even if it does get approved. I had a gentleman come in to me yesterday with what we call a central origin vertigo. Central origin. But the diagnosis code that his physician sent along with him, which I'm not allowed to change because I can't give a clinical diagnosis. I can only give a physical therapy diagnosis. So if it's pain in the right knee, I can say that it's pain in the right knee. I can also say that it's causing difficulty walking. That's a diagnosis code. And then it's causing difficulty with ADLs. So in the note, the doctor clearly writes that this gentleman has vestibular migraines, which is a central origin vertigo, acknowledges that the vertigo is due to the migraines, but then gives a code that makes the insurance company think that it's BPPV, or benign paroxysmal positional vertigo. Two totally separate things. One's happening in the labyrinths in the inner ear, which is way out here. One is happening literally on the brainstem. Totally different things. This is the same thing, and a lot of doctors don't get this right, particularly with vestibular, when we see somebody who has vestibular dysfunction post-stroke. So we still want to use the migraine code and central vertigo code, not the other code that it's called dizziness and giddiness is the code. It's an R code. What we need is a central code, so it's an H code related to the brain. And that H code needs to be used as well if somebody's had a stroke or they've had even a heart attack that can cause vertigo, because the thing that's happening is a decrease in blood flow to the brain. So we really need those codes. And what happens when somebody comes to me and they have a peripheral vertigo code and we try and submit to insurance is we get one visit approved, because fixing BPPV takes one visit. Now, there are some lingering side effects, and you give them exercises and they can do them on their own at home. And you can teach them how to do the somersault technique, and so they can manage on their own at home. But central vertigo is a completely different issue, and it requires a different level of skill and care, and requires insurance to fully understand what's happening. So we need to stop using the R code and start using the H code that says it's a central vertigo. So what that means is, if I were going to submit to insurance, which I'm not because I don't bill insurance, I would need to go back to the audiologist and I would need to tell him, hey, I need you to change this to this code because you stated in your note that this is a migraine-related vertigo, which is a central vertigo issue, not a peripheral vertigo issue. And this is a peripheral vertigo code. If we submit this, he gets one visit, he loses out on care. If we submit this other code, it's likely that he could get up to 6 visits. So if you, even as a client, are aware, my symptoms aren't out here, they're saying they're not out here. At your visit, ask, are you using the central code, meaning that it's happening in my brain, or are you using the traditional code because that's what you typically do? And I need to know because it depends whether or not my insurance will cover the physical therapy. Because literally, United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Cigna, one visit for vertigo if it's this peripheral code. The central code, I can get 6 to 8 visits with each one of those insurances.